Hello everybody, welcome to our mobility video today. The first stretch that we're going to start with is the sleeper stretch. You can start either on your right or your left. Kelsey here is laying on her side. She's going to go ahead and get her arm in that 90-degree angle from her shoulder. Okay, so straight out and straight up. What she's going to do with the other arm, she's going to go ahead and have her other arm go on top of her wrist area. You can relax the hand however you want, and you're gonna feel a good tug through the shoulder. The good rule about this is you want to make sure that you're keeping contact with the back side of your shoulder and underneath the arm here, and try to not have it come up off the ground. You're gonna hold this stretch for 2 minutes, and we're just gonna go ahead and think about letting it passively get down as far as it wants to go for these 2 minutes. Okay, good breathing is necessary, so good inhales, good exhales, and then we will switch it up here after 2 minutes, and we'll get some pails and rails in. So just an explanation of what pails and rails are while Kelsey's waiting here on this 2-minute stretch. We want to think about this clock going. Think about pails. We want to think about actively pushing up towards the hand. Okay, so that will try to bring the shoulder off naturally. So again, we got to think about continuously making contact with the shoulder to the ground when we decide after our 2 minutes to do our pails. Okay, and that'll make more sense here in a little bit. And then our rails, when we tell you to go ahead and get into your rails or pushing towards the ground, you want to think about this arm pushing towards the ground. You don't have to have another hand on it when you're doing this. You can just keep it there. You can also keep the hand on it and just feel it trying to get closer to the ground. Again, when you do try to get those rails in, it'll bring that shoulder off the ground. So try to keep the contact there as well. When we do squeeze for both the pails and the rails, we want to think about squeezing through our stomach first, and then kind of having that energy go through the body to the point where we're trying to stretch. Keeping the tension is very important. It really showcases the stretch when you do actively squeeze the core. So we're in about 1.5 minutes. We got 30 more seconds, and then we will start our pails, which will be pushing the wrist into the hand, upward towards the sky. Also, while we're doing these stretches, we want to think about just going through that shoulder and rotating in that direction. Try not to push or get the elbow too much involved. You want to have that shoulder just rotate on its own. All right, and in 5 seconds, we're going to start our pails. So 3, 2, 1. She's gonna go ahead and start pushing up into her hand.
Squeeze your stomach first before you do any pushing.
Yes, squeeze your stomach first before you're pushing. 15%. 20% push. Keep squeezing that stomach while you're pushing up into that arm. 30%. 40%, and then go ahead and safely as much as you can, and then go ahead and start your rails pushing into the ground.
Don't stop squeezing.
Keep the squeeze going. 3, 2, 1, relax. Go, and just go ahead and keep it there for a little bit and see if you can get a little bit further into the stretch. You're not actively pushing anywhere, you're just letting it relax. Nice work. And then go ahead and let go, relax, and we're going to go ahead and switch sides now.
I have a foam roller, but you guys can use a little pillow or something. I highly recommend it so your head's not hanging out like this.
Alright. And we're gonna start our next 2 minutes just passively letting that arm fall to the ground. Think about good 90 degrees with that arm. And don't forget to get those good inhales and good exhales as we do these. Try to slow the heart rate down, relax. Same rules apply on this side. When we start our pails and rails after our 2 minute passive stretch here, we're going to want to think about squeezing that core as much as possible while we're pushing into that arm, okay? We have 1 minute left. Good inhales and good exhales during these. As you exhale, let that arm just gradually go where it wants to go. Don't push past a threshold. We don't want you pushing towards the ground. We just want it to be as passive as possible.
Double check, make sure your arm's in a 90-degree angle still. Sometimes it'll waft out, so go make sure it's at a 90-degree angle.
We got about 20 seconds and we're gonna start pushing. Again, make sure that shoulder is in contact with the ground underneath you at all times, especially when we start pushing. 10 seconds and we'll start pushing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start squeezing through your stomach and slowly pushing into your hand, keeping that shoulder into the ground. About 10%, 15%, 20% push into that hand. Keep squeezing that stomach, shoulder on the ground. 30%.
Squeeze your legs, squeeze your fists,
Squeeze it all.
squeeze your
40.
arms.
As high as you can possibly safely push. Keep pushing. And keep the squeeze and go ahead and go into your rails, pushing the hand towards the ground. Keep squeezing that stomach, squeeze the legs, everything you got. 3, 2, 1, relax. Just stay in that stretch for a little bit, see if we get a little bit further. Way to go, you guys. Way to get that sleeper stretch in. This stuff will definitely start to let the shoulder let go over time. Anything else you want to add to this or explain?
I don't think so.
All right, cool.
So I'll talk about the next one. We're going to be aiming to stretch out those lats, which is going to be beneficial for everything around it and above it and probably below it. So we're going to use a foam roller. But again, if you have a small block or just anything that you can prop the elbows up on, 6 inches or so, you're gonna place it in front of you. Steve's gonna come down on his stomach, and then, oh, I'm sorry, we also need a stick. So broom, PVC pipe, anything of the sort, could be small as long as it's longer than the width of your elbows. So what he's gonna do, he's gonna lay on his stomach, grab the PVC pipe with his palms up, and then he's gonna rest kind of the top of his elbows or the tricep there on his foam roller or whatever platform he's gonna use. He's gonna struggle a little bit because we're on uneven ground, so he's trying to get it nice and even. All right, so now he's placed, he's got this beautiful even angle from his shoulders to his elbows to his hands. So what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna allow the body to stretch and relax into it. You're gonna feel a good pull through here. So he's gonna take some nice, deep, meditative breaths. And we're gonna do a 2-minute hold. We're 30 seconds into this. I babbled long enough, so. These 2 minutes, it's very, very passive, very relaxed. Just let your body open as natural as it can. Thinking about breathing in for 3 to 4 seconds. Hold for 2 or 3 seconds, and then long breath out for 3 or 4 seconds. Just continue that pattern. If you're not quite feeling a stretch, you can always pull the hands in towards the shoulders. That will increase the stretch a little bit. But wherever you are, that's where you are. We're letting our body open naturally that way first. Then the pails and rails for this one, which will go down in about a minute. What Steve's gonna do is he's going to tense up in his core first. So you'll see his stomach squeeze. You'll probably see his glutes squeeze. The rest of his body starts to squeeze. He's gonna radiate that sort of tension outwards. And what he's really gonna focus on is driving those elbows into the foam roller. And what I want you to think about is almost pulling your elbows into each other and then drive down. That'll be the action. So you're trying to push those elbows into your platform that you're using. Nice job. So we're not gonna go quite yet. We've got about another 40 seconds to just let this stretch do its thing. And then just like we did with the shoulders, when we are squeezing and pushing, you guys are gonna slowly ramp up. So we'll just start with a 5% where the body kind of understands what's happening. And then I want you to think of increasing that tension that you have. So that means you're increasing the push into the platform here. You're increasing your grip on your stick. You're increasing all of this muscle activation, glutes, legs, calves, all the way down to your toes are squeezing. The more you can get going, the better. So we're gonna start that right about now. So just a tiny squeezing from the stomach first, and then we're gonna slowly radiate the squeeze through the body as we drive the hands together and the elbows down onto our platform. 10. Nice job. Ramp it up to 20%. We'll go up to 50 on this one as well. 30% squeeze, continuously driving. Don't lose the stomach tension. Good job. 40%. This is like getting through the end of a workout, lifting something heavy. We need maximum power here. You're gonna ramp it on up to the highest you can safely go. So we're squeezing everything. Steve's feet are squeezing, his calves. And you're gonna hold the squeeze. And in 3, 2, 1, keep holding it. And he's gonna try to pull that PVC more towards his shoulders, push the armpits down towards the ground, and open up as far as he can through here. So he's doing all the work to make that muscle group go in the other direction now. 3, 2, 1, and relax everything. And just let your body sink down into that stretch again. You can hang out here for 10 seconds to the rest of your night. I don't recommend that, but I do recommend at least a nice 30-second hold at the end to kind of see the new end range in the stretch. Good job.
Thanks.
All right. And we have somebody way better looking than either of us to guest star for our next stretch. We're both going to babble about this one. We have lovely Sophia demoing for us.
Hi, Sophia.
Hello. And now we're going to do a T-spine opener with some pails and rails as well. So what she's going to do is she's going to go ahead and go up on her knees. And then she's going to pick whichever arm she wants to start with. Perfect. So she's going to start with the left arm. She's going to slide it on through. And then we're gonna stack her hips like right on top of her knees there. And then that arm is gonna slide right through on the other side. And then she's just gonna place the right hand on top of her left. And she can kind of use that right hand to push herself into the stretch wherever feels good. And again, we are just relaxing for about another 80 seconds here. The aim of this one is to feel muscles kind of moving away from your spine. Give your thoracic spine, the upper spine there, a little bit more room. Even into the neck. This is a good one for the neck as well. And she's just focusing on those nice deep breaths there, seeing where her body wants to take her in the stretch. We have about 50 seconds.
Sometimes we feel that good pull through the rib cage too, and even maybe from that last stretch through your lats. So you may feel it through the spine and the side, and that's great. That's what we're looking for. We're also going to start those pails and rails. Again, always squeezing from the core first is the #1 rule. And then we'll start radiating out towards the area that we want to stretch. We're going to feel good tension through here as well as through the stomach.
So what we're going to do for those pails and rails, Sophia's going to kind of place her hands right on top of each other. And we're going to go ahead and start this in about 5 seconds. So what she'll do is she'll squeeze her stomach muscles first. Nice job. And then she's thinking of just kind of squeezing the whole body and pushing her body as if it were going to rotate towards me.
So we want to try to, I think about my
10%.
eyeballs actively looking this way, trying to get that good squeeze.
Nice job. So 20%.
Keep squeezing that stomach, you guys. Protect that spine.
30%. She's starting to squeeze a little more.
Really driving that hand into the ground.
Push that bottom arm through the ground like you're trying to bust through a hole. 40%.
Way to go, you guys. Keep it up.
Nice job, so. And high as you can safely go. So we're squeezing everywhere now. We got engagement. I see even her feet pointed back here. She's squeezing. And then in 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. She's gonna keep hanging on to that squeeze. So keep squeezing and then try to rotate her body out towards me. So she's gonna actively try to use her muscles to turn this way. Nice job.
Keep
5,
squeezing.
4,
Nice job.
3, 2, 1. And now relax everything. And you take your time moving out of that one. You can hang out for a second if you want to. And we'll go ahead and do it one more time on the other side.
Yeah.
Go for it. So
Alright.
she's sending her hips up into the air. Her hips are perfectly stacked over her knees. That looks great. She's reaching the right arm through this time, getting a nice stretch through here. And we're just gonna chill out for 2 minutes. This top arm can be straight, it can be bent, whatever you want. You can kind of anchor yourself to the ground, whatever makes sense to you.
Last stretch, you guys. Just keep it up. Keep that good.
Nice job.
Nice passive stretch in here. Again, the inhales and exhales are so important. Good inhale through the nose. Hold it in for a few seconds and then exhale everything you got out through the mouth. Way to go, Sophia.
Good job, you guys. We have about 1 more minute. Just relax in the hold here.
Try to keep those hips right on top of those knees. And try to keep that arm out as straight as you can across from your shoulder.
Alright, we got about 20 seconds until we're gonna start those pails. So what she'll do is she can go ahead and stack her palms nice and flat on top of each other. This arm's ready to push, and then she's gonna drive that right arm into the ground like she's trying to break through. So we'll go ahead and squeeze in the stomach first, and then we're gonna go about 10%. So pushing the arm through the ground, squeezing everything else around you. 20%, drive a little deeper into the ground. Good job.
You go, so.
Nice job. And we'll go 30%. Very good. And 40%. If things are shaking, like you're just doing a max lift right now, then you're in the right area. And here we go, high as you can, squeezing the stomach, squeezing everything, like your life depends on it, for 10 seconds. Just the end of it, good job. 3, 2, 1. Try to actively keep that squeeze and move your body outwards. Good, nice job trying to make this stretch happen more. Keep pulling, pulling, pulling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome, beautiful job. Relax there, take your time. Feel the stretch.
Yeah.
And
Thank you guys.
that's it. That's it for today. These stretches take a little bit of time to do, but if you stay consistent on them, they will be game changers. Things will open up much better. Your joints will move much easier, and this is a different kind of stretch than just the regular holds that we have you guys do. So good job getting through it, and even better job if you stick with it, because you'll see the results.
Yes, you will.
That's it from me.
All right. Thanks, guys, for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Or do we have anything else to say?
That hurt.
That hurt?
Like not hurt, like it's like
Oh, like
super
it was
tight.
pulling?
Yeah.
Probably bunched up in there. A good pop and crack from a chiropractor would help.
Yeah.
Maybe you and Kelsey can go see Dr. Seal
I'll try calling.
and get
You have to do it on like
your orthodontist in on the same day.
Oh, okay.
because there's no front office people.
Oh, okay.
You have to what?
You have to like do it on a weekday because there's like no front office.
Yeah.
Then Monday we'll plan to set up an ortho appointment.
Like a dead squirrel dropped or something.
It's right behind that. You were there, right? You went with me that one.